Welcome back to Insightful Odyssey. You know that place for all you deep thinkers and story lovers out there.
It's us.
Yeah, and today we're taking a deep dive into a real classic, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens.
Oh, Dickens.
Yeah, have you ever read this one?
Oh, yeah. Dickens is a favorite of mine. I love how he takes these like big, huge ideas, ambition, redemption,
Yeah,
and he just weaves them into these stories that feel so personal and human.
it's true. It's like he's holding up a mirror, isn't he?
He is.
Except like all of us warts and all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so to help us unpack all this, we're going to break down the story
Yeah.
and introduce you to some of the main characters.
Okay.
Even if you've never read Dickens before, you'll be able to follow right along.
Sounds good.
So it all starts with our main man, Pip.
Or Pip.
Yeah, he's a young orphan and he's living in the marshes of England. And Dickens does not make this place sound very nice.
No, he doesn't. It's bleak, desolate,
Yeah.
windswept.
Yeah.
And there's this constant feeling of danger lurking everywhere.
Yeah.
Remember that image of the gibbet?
Oh, yeah.
The hanging post just looming over Pip as he's standing there shivering in the cold.
Yeah, it's like foreshadowing, isn't it?
It really sets the tone for the whole story.
Yeah, for sure. And right in the middle of all this bleakness, we meet Pip. And he's living this pretty tough life with his sister and her husband, Joe,
Right.
who is the blacksmith.
Yeah.
And Joe's the good guy, right?
He's the good guy. He's the kind one. He's got all this like simple wisdom.
Yeah.
And he's full of affection for Pip. But his sister, on the other hand,
Oh, boy.
she's a real piece of work, constantly cleaning, and snapping at Pep.
Always cleaning,
Always clean.
especially when she's mad.
Especially when she's mad.
Oh, yeah. So she kind of represents that, like, harsh side of Victorian society, doesn't she?
Yes, very much so.
Like, all about appearances and being respectable.
Exactly.
Whereas Joe's just, like, a good guy.
Yeah, just a good guy.
Just a simple good guy.
The moral compass that Pip really needs.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then things start to get a little more interesting. Pip has this scary encounter with an escaped convict out in the marshes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and he ends up stealing food for this guy.
Really?
Yeah, out of, like, fear and pity.
Wow.
It's a small act, but it weighs on Pip's conscience for years to come.
I can imagine Dickens is so good at that,
Yeah.
taking a seemingly insignificant event
Right.
and making it ripple throughout the whole story.
Yeah.
It really speaks to how our actions, even those made out of fear or desperation,
Yeah.
can have a huge impact on our lives.
Yeah, totally. And then comes the real game changer.
Oh, what's that?
Pip gets summoned to this really creepy, decaying mansion.
A mansion.
Yeah, it's called Sada's house.
Sada's house.
Yeah, and it's home to this eccentric Miss Havisham.
Miss Havisham. Okay.
And let me tell you, eccentric doesn't even begin to cover it.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So what really strikes me about Miss Havisham is she's just frozen in time.
Frozen in time.
Yeah, she's wearing her wedding dress from decades ago.
Oh, wow.
While the clocks are stopped.
Yeah.
The wedding feast is just sitting there
It's
untouched.
like a museum.
It is. It's like a shrine to her own heartbreak.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's just dragging everyone around her down with her.
That's sad.
Yeah. And then there's Estella.
Estella.
She's this beautiful but incredibly cold girl that Miss Havisham has raised.
Okay.
And she's basically been trained to break men's hearts.
Oh.
Yeah. And poor Pip becomes the target of her cruel games.
Poor Pip.
Yeah. I felt so bad for him even as a kid reading it.
I bet. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Totally.
You just know it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
But he's so drawn to her.
Yeah.
He can't help but fall for her.
It's that Dickens thing, isn't it?
It is classic Dickens.
You know, looking at how our ambition and desires can just blind us to the truth.
Exactly.
So there's all that going on. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Yeah. Pip's life takes another crazy turn when he suddenly inherits a fortune.
A fortune.
Yeah, from this mysterious benefactor.
Oh.
And he gets whisked off to London to become a gentleman.
A gentleman.
And you'd think he'd be thrilled, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
But it's not that simple.
It's never that simple, is it?
Never.
Especially with Dickens.
Especially with Dickens.
Mm.
No, so Dickens was really fascinated by this whole idea of social mobility
Yeah.
and how it could corrupt even the most well-intentioned person.
Right.
So Pip gets caught up in this world of wealth and status,
Of course.
and he starts to feel ashamed of his humble beginnings.
Sad.
It is. It's actually pretty painful to watch.
It is.
He even starts looking down on Joe,
Oh, no.
the one person who has always been there for him.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then there are the friends he makes in London.
Oh, yeah, those friends, quote unquote.
Right, like the arrogant Drummle.
Drummle.
Oh, yeah.
What a character.
We're only interested in Pip for his money.
Right. They represent that shallowness of the upper class
Totally.
that Dickens was so critical of.
Totally. They're all about appearances and social standing,
Right.
but they have zero substance
None at all.
or integrity.
Nope.
But thankfully, Pip does have Herbert Pocket,
Right.
who's like a genuinely good guy.
Yeah, he's a good one.
And he becomes Pip's true friend.
He does.
And he tries to help him navigate this whole new
He
world.
tries to steer him in the right direction.
He does.
He does his best. Right?
He really does.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole other layer to the story.
What's that?
It's like Pip's whole world is built on this shaky foundation.
Okay.
Because he thinks by becoming this gentleman,
Yeah.
he'll finally win over Estella.
Stella.
Yeah. But she's still so cold and distant.
She is.
And she keeps reminding him about his past.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. Like she enjoys torturing him a little bit.
Well, she's a product of her environment. You can't really blame her for being the way she is.
I know it's true.
I mean, Miss Havisham basically molded her into this weapon of revenge.
Right.
She can't feel genuine love or affection. She's tragic, really.
Yeah.
Trapped in this cycle of pain and manipulation.
It makes you wonder if she can ever break free.
Yeah. Can she ever truly love someone?
Or was she just going to repeat all of Miss Havisham's mistakes?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And Dickens doesn't really give us an easy answer.
He doesn't.
He leaves it up to us
to
decide if Estella can change.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's not forget about the mystery of Pip's benefactor.
Oh, right.
This whole time, he's living the high life, assuming his money came from some wealthy, upstanding person.
Right.
And then, bam, the truth comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is it?
So it turns out Pip's benefactor is none other than
who?
The escape's like his worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant. Right.
It is Dickens at his best.
Yeah.
It's like he's exposing the hypocrisy of it all.
Exactly.
Pip's so focused on climbing the social ladder.
Yeah.
He's totally blind to what really matters. True generosity and kindness.
It's like the irony, isn't it?
It is.
That this convict,
right,
despite his past,
yeah,
has shown Pip more love.
More genuine love.
Yeah, and loyalty than anyone in his fancy London circle.
Absolutely. It shows you that true worth isn't about money or status.
Right.
It's about character.
Yeah.
And this realization is what starts Pip on the road to redemption.
Yes. The turning point for him.
It is.
So Pip's world is totally upside down now, right?
It is.
He's dealing with the truth about his benefactor.
Right.
His feelings for Estella are a mess.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's Compeyson lurking in the shadows.
Compeyson.
Yeah, the real villain of the story.
Oh, yeah. He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's bad news. And he's connected to both Miss Havisham and the convict.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's all coming together.
I know. It adds this whole other layer of danger and intrigue to the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a direct threat to Pip's benefactor. Yeah. Which puts Pip in a tough spot.
Yeah, he's torn between loyalty and fear.
Exactly.
It's a test of his character.
It really is.
So what happens next?
Well, it all builds up to this incredible escape attempt.
An escape.
Yeah, it's this tense edge-of-your-seat sequence where Pip risks everything to help his benefactor flee London.
Wow. I can't wait to hear what happens.
Me too.
It's a real nail-biter, isn't it?
It is.
Yep.
They're rowing down the Thames trying to escape the law and Compeyson. Dickens really knows how to crank up the tension.
He does. And you see how Pip really steps up.
He does.
I mean, he's facing real danger now.
Yeah.
Not just, social awkwardness.
Right.
He could go to prison.
Yeah.
But he keeps going.
He does.
Because he feels this sense of loyalty
Yeah.
to this man who helped him and
Right.
and maybe even loved him.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
It is.
You really see how much Pip has grown.
Right. He's not worried about social status anymore.
Yeah.
Or impressing Estella.
It's about doing the right thing.
Exactly. Even if it means losing everything.
It's a powerful moment.
It is.
But of course, things don't exactly go to plan.
They never do they?
They don't. The escape fails.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the convict is captured, and Pip is left to deal with the fallout.
So he loses everything.
He does his fortune, his social standing, the life he thought he had built.
It's like a complete reversal of fortune.
It is, but it feels necessary in a way.
How so?
Like Pip needed to be stripped bare,
okay.
to lose everything he thought was important.
To see what really matters.
Exactly.
I see.
It's another classic Dickens move, right?
It is. Sometimes we need to lose ourselves.
Yeah.
To find ourselves.
Yeah, and for Pip, it's through this loss that he learns the value of humility.
Right.
Loyalty,
Genuine connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens to him?
He goes back home to Joe and Biddy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, they represent that simple life that he rejected.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Okay.
but they welcome him back with open
Oh,
arms and offer him the love and forgiveness that he needs.
that's beautiful.
It is. It's like a moment of redemption for him.
For Pip and for us as readers,
I know.
it reminds us that true love and acceptance
Yeah.
aren't about money or status.
It's about something deeper.
And so Pip finally starts to heal.
But what about Estella?
Oh, yeah, Estella.
Do they end up together?
Well, Dickens keeps us guessing.
He does.
We know that Estella has also suffered,
Yeah.
stuck in that loveless marriage to Drummle.
Right.
But she's been humbled by her experiences, stripped of her pride and illusions.
So when they meet again,
Yeah.
there's a sense of understanding there,
Yeah.
a recognition of their shared pain.
They've both grown.
Right. It's bittersweet, but there's hope too.
There is.
Like maybe they can connect now.
On a deeper level.
Right. Not as these caricatures, you
Yeah.
know, but as two people who have been through a lot.
Who understand each other.
Yeah. So what do we take away from Great Expectations?
Well, I think Dickens is challenging us
Yeah.
to think about what really matters.
Right.
Is it social status?
Yeah.
Wealth?
Okay.
Or is it something more like
What?
like kindness, loyalty,
Okay.
courage to be yourself even when it's hard?
That's good.
Pip reminds us
Yeah.
that true fulfillment
Yeah.
often comes from the most unexpected places.
I love that. And to all of you listening to Insightful Odyssey, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Dickens' masterpiece. We hope you learned a thing or two and maybe even found a little bit of hope along the way. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those minds open to the great expectations that life has in store for you.